Mikhail Ruklin is a Russian philosopher and lecturer. His wife died in Berlin under mysterious circumstances in 2008.
On her last day alive, she called a few friends, and then she told me she was going out shopping. But after 3 or 4 hours, she disappeared. There was no trace of her for 3 weeks. Then the police came to my house and said a body had been found in the middle of Berlin. There was no doubt that it was my wife.
Taslima Nasreen, a Bangladeshi author. She's been on the death list of Islamic fundamentalists since 1993.
I was blamed, I was hated, I was attacked. The fundamentalists issued Fatwa against me. They set price on my head.
Kurt Vestergaard, a Danish illustrator and the creator of a scandalous caricature of the Prophet Muhammad. He has been under police protection since 2006.
They have plans to kill me. And maybe even torture me.
Foltern, ja. Ja.
Roberto Saviano is an Italian journalist and the author of the book Gomorrah. He's been persecuted by the mafia since 2007.
I'm not scared, but not because I'm particularly brave, but because I've never confronted this problem, this worry about my death. My death is constantly talked about, so now it seems really far away. What I'm really scared of is continuing to live this way, under this constant pressure, this constant threat. That's how they're trying to destroy my work, because they'll never forgive me for sending this story out into the world.
What's interesting is that in the Western world, those of us who create art in some form feel we're not being taken very seriously anymore. You can do what you want. Nobody cares, and that's a regret. But at the same time, there are people and powers and systems in many countries who evidently react badly when the arts, whether the visual or the literary arts, address something that they think the people have a duty to believe. In the visual arts, that's the violation of religious taboos and, of course, the subjects of sexuality and women's emancipation.
Bangladesh in the late 70s. Since her youth, author Taslima Nasreen has been fighting the chauvinism that's so widespread in her home country. In poems and essays, she tries to encourage women and girls to rebel against oppression and paternalism. This attracted the hatred of religious hardliners.
First of all, they hated me because I was writing against tradition, culture, and custom, because I said they're anti-women. Women are oppressed and they should fight against their oppression. And we must not accept traditions or any societal rules which go against women. We have to change laws which are anti-women, and there is no need for women to practice religion because all religions are anti-women. And no, they couldn't tolerate it. They wanted to kill me.
Being a doctor's daughter, Taslima Nasreen grew up in privileged circumstances. She was able to go to school. Later, she studied medicine and became a doctor herself. Her father was a member of a small group of religious liberals in the country. Her mother was a devout Muslim. A conflict rapidly developed. As a young girl, Nasreen became the victim of a sexual assault. An uncle tried to rape her. Nothing unusual in Bangladesh at that time. Nasreen decided to help girls and young women who were less fortunate than her, those who weren't allowed to go to school and were forced into marriage. Her literature has been emancipated right from the start. Today, her works are published around the world.
When girls are raped, nobody blames the rapists. They blame the girls. Girls commit suicide out of shame. It is so common in our society. Always I, said that girls should not be blamed. It's not their fault. Punish the criminals, don't punish the victims. But unfortunately, the victims are punished, not only in our society, in many societies. In 1991, my book called Selected Columns, the collection of my essays, was published, and that got a prestigious literary award. But also the Fundamentalists started demonstration against me because I wrote that book that they didn't like. Some maybe thought that I was right, but not other brainwashed men who think that I am wrong and they are right, and I have no right to speak against patriarchy, against tradition, or against religion. And religion gave them the right to kill the infidels. And they strongly believe that. And some are afraid, of course, that they think that maybe my words would spread more and more, and people will wake up more and more, and then they will try to change the society, and those religionists and misogynists would not have any chance to rule the society. They destroyed the bookstalls or bookshops, or they attacked the publishers, They attacked the people who bought my books, They terrorized people who were supporting me.
Violence broke out in parts of Karnataka.
Taslima Nasreen's enemies multiplied with her fame. In the early 90s, she was an author celebrated by many women in India and Bangladesh. She was a figure that divided public opinion. While she reached many women with her demand for equality, she increasingly turned a growing number of men against her. Demonstrations turned into riots, protests turned into violent assaults.
He just emerged out of that meeting, talking to the media. He has said FIRs will be registered against the newspaper. He's also said that anyone disturbing the social fabric of the state will not be spared. Now we are getting information still coming up. The situation in Shimoga is still quite...
They didn't give up, They continued writing against me in their newspapers. There are many newspapers and magazines that, that were published by them. So I didn't care. Whatever they wrote, I continued my writing. I continued, to express my beliefs or ideas. In 1993, what I told you, that they issued fatwa against me, and they had occasional, in the beginning in 90s, occasional demonstration against me, because they said that I'm against Islam, so I should be killed. And it is their religious duty to kill me.